Good morning, everybody, and once again, welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about push hoodie commit notification to an HTTP URI with a callback. So, what do I mean by that? Let's take a look at a small explanation followed by a demo. Apache Hoodie provides the ability to post callback notification about the write commit. This may be valuable if you need an event notification stream to take action with other services after a hoodie write commit. When a hoodie write operation is completed successfully, hoodie generates a callback payload with information about the write operation such as commit time, the number of records written, and the path to the hoodie dataset. Once the write commit callback is configured, hoodie will send the callback payload to a specified HTTP endpoint or a Kafka server after each successful write commit. This is used to trigger downstream processes such as refreshing materialized view, updating search indexes, or triggering event notification. Now, let me maybe give you some idea or the context here, right? So basically, let's say you have a materialized view, right? So anytime a write commit has happened, maybe you want to update the materialized view, or maybe you want to run an incremental pipeline, right? So anytime any updates or insert are happening, maybe you want to trigger an incremental pipeline to run, right? So those are some of the use cases. You could use for. Another things are, for example, you could use this matrix to see how much data has been written into a particular partition over the time interval, right? So basically, the metadata will also help you to monitor the stats, basically, right? So let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so I'm gonna define the imports over here on line 1. Then I'm gonna define the Spark session. Over here, I'm gonna be using copy on write. The method type is absurd. Precom key is usually used for deloop purposes. I'm using a composite key, which is UUID and a country. These are the things that you need to put basically. Hoodie write commit callback HTTP URL. So here I'm providing an HTTP URL. Then I'm saying hoodie write commit callback on as true. By default, it is false, so you have to enable this. And then hoodie write commit callback HTTP timeout in seconds. So basically, I'm saying the max timeout would be 180 seconds. So I'm gonna perform an insert on my hoodie data lake. I don't have a data lake, I just removed everything. And what I also have is a very simple Flask app. If you observe, very simple Flask app. So anytime I insert or perform certain action, I would see the payload coming in here, okay? So we're gonna see that, okay? So I'm gonna write these records and let's see if we are able to receive that event, okay? All right, ready? So I have started it, okay? And now I should see the payload once the commit is successful, okay? So I'm gonna wait, and again, I am running things locally, right? So again, the print statement was successful, and if you observe, it's still in the running state, as you can see. But once that is complete, I should receive a payload over here. So let's take a look at that. All right, as you can see, that's complete, and we did get a payload over here. And let's take a look at the payload, what the data looks like. Again, this is a very informative data. You can also push the data to the Datadog, right? So in your API, you could essentially push all these logs to Datadog and build dashboards, right? So let's do a JSON formatter, and let's try to take a look at the JSON over here. All right, so if you observe, I have a commit time, right? When the commit happened, I have the table name on which the commit happened. I also have the base path, and then I have hoodie write stats. These are the stats. So, a single commit will have many. So it's one to many. That's why they have put in an array, right? So here you will have a file ID, right? You will have the exact Parquet path, right? Then you see the number of writes, right? How many writes happened, right? So you can take a look at that as well, right? Then you can also see on which partition path the documents were written. So you can see the partition was India in this case, right? You can see the file size in bytes, right? So you could see all this information, right? So again, a lot of valuable information is presented, right? Is all I'm trying to say. Again, I assume this will be the partition US, right? So hopefully that makes sense, right? So you can, again, based on the events, you can trigger or fire up incremental pipelines, right, to refresh your materialized view, or simply log this data on Datadog or push it somewhere so you could basically see all these stats, right? Again, I hope this video was useful. These are the 3 settings that you need to do. Couple of things. So if you are using an HTTP URL, please make sure to put a queue in between that, because again, it depends upon how you're using it. But if you're using one endpoint and basically for all your Hoodie tables, what you want to do is you want to have a queue, or basically you want to publish to a Kafka topic and then consume it. But again, if you have a very small table, I think it's a nice way, right? If you're using AWS, then probably the best way would be publish these events to an API gateway. API gateway will basically directly put the events on EventBridge, and then you can add your Lambda subscription to consume those events, and then maybe fire up EMR jobs or do any action that you want, right? Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. The exercise notebook is there in the description, so make sure to try this exercise out. And with that being said, if you have any more questions, list your question, and I'll see you in the next video.